in it for the abuser. You know, they make the person sick and then they get them better, and there's kind of this heroic thing that goes along with it. And I think what she was trying to get you to understand is that's not what wasn't Dee Dee's pattern. You know, to get Gypsy sick and then to get her better and be the hero and, you know, always running to the rescue. And I think that's where that, you know, the gray area is that we don't see here, that the malingering, that there was so much. And especially when Gypsy was older, that we feel like she was playing into a part to keep that going for financial gain, because, you know, the sicker she was, the more rewards came with it. So, you know, and there was a point where she did know that she could walk, her muscle tone, everything else, you know, it shows us that she was walking more than she was in a wheelchair. She was able to get up and leave anytime she wanted. She was able to probably walking around the house all the time because the wheelchair was not accessible with all the garbage and junk everywhere. That wheelchair was not being used inside. So I think that's where a lot of the doubt and question comes in. And Ivory's a nurse as well as I am. And, you know, we haven't looked over everything 100%. We're very new to this chromosome deletion. But we have looked at a lot of other things. I think that's where the public gets that there's so much confusion with this, is we really do feel like it was more malingering. And that's when, you know, two people are working together for the same goal, because there's a goal at the end of it. You know, there's a win, there's a prize. And it seemed like that's what was happening.
And I think right now the public, with her continuing to financial gain off this whole crime, is, again, where the public is pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, you were all making money off of such a horrific, horrible thing that was, again, we feel like that whole story was a scam. Okay? And the fact that she's still doing it doesn't, you got to say, admit it though, Rod, it doesn't look good. No. It looks crappy. I mean, at least be honest, though. It looks like she's still trying to gain off of all of this.
Right.
I get it. I get that. I mean,
you know,
I don't think anybody should be making money or
off of a horrific thing. And I think that's where the public comes in and goes, you know, if it was a scam, all right, so I'm not even going to tell you, if it was a scam, and there was obviously, even if she did have Munchausen's by proxy, and I don't think she did, but even if she did, there was still a scamming on Gypsy's part either way. She knew a lot more, and she admitted to knowing a lot more. So then here you are scamming people for profit, and then you come out of prison where people feel you didn't serve enough time for your crime, and rightfully so. And then you come out and then you're getting all this financial gain for being noted and being quote unquote famous as exactly that. And so the people are pissed off, like you're dancing around here and getting loaded off the fact that you did something horrible. And then honestly, it's practically getting away with it scot-free, because 8.5 years compared to the life plus 25 that the other person got. Do you see where the public feels like, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at it like it was just 8.5 years. I look at it like it was 33 years. You know,
okay.
So I think,
and that's how you see it, but not for the crime. For the crime, it was 8.5 years she served for the crime.
That's right. And
no, not her victimization, but her crime. And then you have to understand, wasn't Nick also a victim of her? She manipulated him, Rod, 2 years. So it's not like Dee Dee was doing this and then she just snapped one day. She took in another person and plotted and planned it and groomed him to do it. So do you understand why the people, the public, are sitting there looking at you all like it's disgusting? You're all profiting off of one guy's in prison because he was manipulated for 2 years, and then she murdered somebody and sat for 8.5 years, and then is out trying to act like I'm this great person, influencing the young all over social media. Do you see where the public's concerned? Still making the money.
And you know, Rod, how can you even say that there wasn't any acting in this? I mean, we have a video of her at Disney, you know, eating royal mashed potatoes, and literally 6 days later, she's on a video with Nick dressed up like Ruby, you know, talking about God knows what. You know, she was able to go from sick Gypsy to not sick Gypsy within hours. So she absolutely was putting on an act for, you know, the public and somebody else behind closed doors. That's concerning when you can be those two completely separate people within hours of the other one. You know, in 1 minute she's in a wheelchair and she's a Disney princess eating mashed potatoes, and that night she's got her tatas hanging out with a red wig on talking about she's Ruby. And, you know, I mean, you can't see that how the public sees that there was some performance on her part.
And then for your whole family to make money off of it, someone is dead. Someone is gone, and someone will never come out of prison. Like, so for us to sit there and watch you all acting like we're some fancy, famous people, but 2 lives and more than that were affected and lost that day. And why should you guys get to celebrate? Why should she be out there celebrating like this and acting a fool with no humility and just acting like when she did this to people? Ultimately, she was the key card player.
I don't think
understand. So you're like, why is the public picking on me? Get yourself out of the limelight. You want to have a quiet family life? Stop collecting money on the death of Dee Dee. Even if she did abuse Gypsy, you were all wrong. You're wrong for it. And the public doesn't appreciate it.
I'm curious what he has to say. I mean, how do you explain that, Rod, all of this? Do you understand?
I understand what y'all are saying. I understand it looks bad.
It is bad. It does not. It looks bad. It is bad.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
Even
you no
if
matter
she
what,
was a
she's the
victim of
mother of your
Munchausen by
children.
proxy, even if she was a victim, it is still not right for your family to be collecting off the death of Dee Dee Blanchard and the imprisonment of Nick Godejohn.
And the continual manipulation. I mean, we watched it on Lifetime for the past 5 months. I mean, you know, we watched her manipulate your family, Ryan. I mean, just, you know, it's crazy that it seems like she has not gotten any better. She is a master manipulator and a sociopath at best. You can sit back and watch this happen, and you seem like a really nice guy. Trust me, our hearts all go out to you. I think you are caught up in a mess that you don't know how to get yourself out of.
Can I say something on Christy's behalf, though? And I've said this, and anybody who watches my lives or videos know I've said this. So when you look at Mia, I don't see Dylan. I don't mention him just because he keeps private, and I will respect that. But when you see Mia on the show and you see her on, you know, she doesn't profit off of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm not trying.
And so you kind of feel bad for her. You guys, you just all need to stop collecting money, stop collecting a payday on somebody's life imprisonment and death. It just makes you all look horrible. And then you all get upset when people talk about you. Well, people don't like you because of it. I'm going to be honest, and I'm not trying to be rude. People don't like you.
I only get upset when people are saying things that are untrue, in my opinion, that I know for sure is not true. Just like somebody said a while ago, Gypsy has a parole hearing. She doesn't. Okay? So, look.
And that's fine. But if you don't want people to say things that aren't true, again, take your family out of the spotlight. Take them away from the camera lens. Then people will not talk about them.
I mean, you're making money off of, no matter what, Dee Dee was the mother of your daughter. I mean, at one time, you had to have cared about this woman, and your whole family is profiting off of her death, and a death that was committed by your daughter, who manipulated a kid that probably couldn't hardly barely tie his own shoes. And here, you know, she's flipped around with Kim Kardashian and walking the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I mean, it's disgusting.
And then I'll give credit. You can tell you and Christy raised Mia and Dylan well. And I've said that, and everybody here who's on here has heard me say that. The problem is Christy wants to not look bad, but she just looks like she just wants the most benefit, and she just looks like a vindictive stepmother. You guys need to get out of the spotlight. You don't, and that may not be true. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm just saying, does she see? She needs to understand that from the public's view, that's what she makes herself look like. So this is doing you no benefit other than financial gain. And if you want to keep, you know, people are not going to stop talking about it. It's just, it is what it is.
Man, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you. Mia was raised properly. Gypsy was not. I believe she was
I
a
agree.
victim. I think she has a story to tell. I think she still has support. I think she is progressing, and we're part of that journey with her. We want to see
Really,
her.
Rod, you can't even, you know what? I was with you up until there. I believe, and again, I'm with Fancy though. I believe that, she wasn't parented right and there was manipulation to Gypsy on the same part. But no, it's not because she has a story, Rod.
But now is the time where you
safest
could be
thing
that
you can
parent.
do for Gypsy if you loved your family is take them out of the spotlight. It looks like you don't care about, Christy doesn't care about Gypsy. Look what she did to her between the marriage and that's what we're seeing. And then we like you even less. And then we're going to continue talking. And then you're all getting upset. So
Maybe-
again, take yourself out for a little bit, get her therapy, and then let her speak about her story. But we don't see a story. We see TV trash. And you're just getting money off of someone's death. And it looks horrible.
Okay,
And if
that's
you really
how,
cared how you look, then you would see that.
that's not how everyone sees it.
Oh, that's how the majority see it.
Well,
You're right.
Don't you see it that way,
She
Rod?
doesn't talk about her sickness or her victimization on the show. She's talking about men. Where in there is she helping anybody?
Yeah.
Where? I'm going to teach you how to go from a husband to a baby daddy real quick. Where is she advocating for anybody or showing a victim story in that? Come on. She's trying to catch her husband, pulling an Amber Heard, trying to catch her husband so she can look like a victim again. Where is she in there telling her story? What story?
Not once, never.
what did you expect her to come out and be perfect? Not make any
I
mistakes?
expect her to come out, get some therapy, and don't complain when you're going to act like trash on TV and then complain when people talk about you. She should be coming out. You want to talk about your story, then make the show about her story, not about her trashy love life that she can't handle.
It's her story.
Right?
Nobody knows what her story is going to be. Nobody knew she was going to come
We just
out.
went through a whole season, and what's her story? You're right. So how can you say it's because she has a story and people are watching her? Because she has a story. She hasn't said anything about a story.
You say
What
she
is
wasn't
the story?
raised right. Maybe
So
this
you're
is the
just
time
trying
you
to make
can
money
step
off of
in.
her trashy image, not because she has a story to tell. Now, if she actually sat down and said, "This is my story," this is who I'm trying to reach, maybe people would see it differently.
Hey, her life is her story right now. Y'all.
It's disgusting.
And I'm gonna need you to seriously. Then
Sorry,
we
it's
need to get her help.
Best
If that her life is the fact that she can't hold a marriage and that Christy's helping her get out of a marriage to have a baby daddy, do you understand that's what people see? That's a sad story and that's nothing to be proud of. And then you complain when people are sitting there making up trashy rumors.
Christy,
What are you expecting?
Christy, what?
My kids are telling her, now that I've seen the show and see how happy Gypsy is, Gypsy made a mistake by marrying Ryan. She thought she was going to come out and be happy and get over Ken. She didn't. She made a mistake.
So you think that how that all aired out was, proper conduct? Come on.
No, I don't. I don't think it
So
was.
then where is her story? Where is the helping others? It was all about her messy relationships.
Manipulation. It was more.
It was
Gypsy.
just showing us how she is a master manipulator. And it's making Christy look really bad.
The story's not over. Story's not over.
What story? You're
now
right.
we just
Now
get to
there's a
watch it.
baby involved. And so there's a season 2. Again, we are the public. We are watching. You may be living a different story, but I'm going to tell you the story the public sees.
I have no control of the show happening or not happening.
So then do you understand though? Again, it's ultimately going to come down to people are going to talk shit if you're going to hang yourself in front of a camera. That's ultimately what it is. You can defend it all you want. It's not going to stop until you get yourself out of the spotlight.
Rod, you said earlier that Gypsy didn't have somebody to rear her right. Maybe this is your chance to step up and be a father and guide her in the right direction and put your foot down and be like, look, this is not right. This is not right. This is what you need to do. We get that she was living behind closed doors for 23 years of her life and doesn't have a lot of life experience, but maybe this is your time to shine and be her father and guide her in the right direction.
And think about your other children who've got to be associated with this whole mess.
Say what, Rod?
Honestly, my heart goes out to Mia.
So what?
Because it looks bad on her. The poor girl didn't do nothing. She had no play in it.
Which I want me to treat her like she's 12 years old and, really make her clean her room and tell her she can't have social media. And
I have adult children, Rod. I have a lot of adult children, okay? But no, you should sit them down. And I would never let my daughter just sit there and stop. You got married. You have honor. That was a vow. So you should try to work on it before I just go ahead and bring your ex in to have a baby with. You teach them right and wrong. You should not be showing, you want to be an influencer, you should not be showing people on TV you think that's right.
Well, I know what it's like to be in love with somebody else. I know what it's like to be in a marriage that you just, it's not there. Okay? So it's not right. I agree. I made a mistake getting married to her mom. She made a mistake getting married to Ryan. That's the story. People want to see it. Lifetime want to pay money for it.
Thank you. So you just proved my point. Lifetime wants to pay money for it.
Right.
End of discussion. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you just really told us exactly where you stand on this. And you know what? Hopefully in season
Don't
2.
get hurt. Don't get hurt when people talk crap because you're dangling the trashiness in front of the camera. I have nothing left to say about that.
I'm not hurt when you're talking trash. I'm hurt when somebody says something that's not true. You can talk trash all you want. You can call us a bad parent. You know, I wasn't there. Christy's a manipulator.
So there's only certain lies that I tell you like and certain you don't. What makes this lie any different than the rest of my lies?
About any other stuff you said apart from the cops came to my house. You're saying
So
why is that the only
you're
lie?
okay with me lying about everything else except for that? Okay.
Well, look, a lot of the other stuff is so silly, like Christy sleeping with Ken. Who's gonna believe that? Okay? Now, cops coming to my house, me leaving Christy? Yeah, that's probably believable. Ken being gay, you know, Ken went on there and defended that. He's not gay. I mean, he doesn't have a grinder or whatever.
Listen, at the end of the day, you're in it to make money. And what is more important to you? How you look in your self-respect or the money? That's completely up to you. That's not up to me. I control me, but I don't control the other billion people on the app or on the television or in magazines or that are reading these magazines. So ultimately, it just depends on what's more important to you, self-respect or money. Because
the most important
you're choosing money. No. You are choosing money, and therefore, this comes with it. This comes with it. You don't like the lies? I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You can defend them, but it doesn't mean we're not going to stop pushing them.
Hopefully
Hey, Rod, I've got one question. Rod, I've got one question for you.
Wait,
And I'm
hold
going
on.
to be.
I'm sorry. You said keep pushing them. What?
I said keep pushing them, and I'll keep defending them.
All right. Then I'll see you next week.
Rod, I've got one question before you go, and I'm going to be totally respectful. I just want to know one thing. You know how you just said before that you're coming on to defend this, but everything else you guys say you don't care about. Now, we've been speaking in here a lot about the fact that we have opinions, not fact, but opinions that Gypsy helped with the murder of Dee Dee. And you haven't come in here to defend that, but you're defending this. That's what I don't understand.
Well, I don't have all the information that the prosecutors had, so I can't speak on whether she was there or not. I saw Nick say she was in the bathroom. I heard Gypsy say she was in the bathroom. I heard Nick say he stabbed her 4 times, and then blah blah blah. And then he kept on. So I don't think Gypsy.
So you got to believe what you hear.
Opinion, okay? Y'all can make y'all own opinions on.
So you believe what you hear, and I believe the information that I heard, and so we're all safe to say we're in the same boat.
Okay, yeah.
Because none of us have proof of anything. We're all just believing what we hear.
That's why I haven't come on to say anything about that. That information is out there. A lot of it's opinion based. The prosecutors had the information. And, you know, I can't defend that because I don't know for sure. You know, Gypsy told me she wasn't there, but I don't have proof of that 100%. So I'm not going to defend that. I'll tell you my opinion. My opinion is she stayed in the bathroom. Nick did what he did, and then they did their thing after, whatever. You know.
At the end of the day, though, Rod, I give you hold on. At the end of the day, Rod, though, I give you respect for defending your story and your wife, and I really do. I do. Unfortunately, even if I stop, it's not going to stop the other billion people. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can stop today, but it's not going to stop at all.
I get that. I mean, that's fine. You want to keep, you know, talking about the story, her story, whether it's true, whether it's lie, whether the rumor coming out tomorrow is true or not.
You just got to understand the public is pissed off. Is pissed off.
I get it. I don't really want to do another show. I didn't want to do the second show. This is Gypsy's choice. She's living in my home. She chose to do this show. What am I going to do? Kick her out of my home?
No, counsel her. Counsel her how it's a bad decision.
I gotta support my daughter.
And you know what? That's so
between
respectable.
support.
And she can get a job.
There's a difference between support and just aiding and abetting her to. I mean, obviously she needs help because you said yourself she doesn't have that life experience. So you just letting her do what she should do without. You need to counsel her.
She needs to make
discourage her. She doesn't need to make choices on her own yet. She doesn't know how, you just said.
No, she doesn't know how, Rod. She needs your guidance. And, you know, we've all sat here and said, we think you have done a beautiful job raising your other children. They seem like really great kids.
Absolutely.
We have given you that applause the whole time. And you have been, it looks like you have been a wonderful father. And we hope that we can see that if there's another season. I hope to see you being that father to Gypsy because I think that's who she needs. And she needs somebody to guide her and help her with life lessons. Yes, you have to let her live her life, but she needs parents. She needs guidance. She's never had that. So my final thing to you is, if I could see anything, I hope I see more of that. I hope I see you being more involved in guiding her in the right direction. I hope I see her going in the right direction because it seems like you've done a wonderful job with the other ones. So for that, I applaud you, and I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us tonight. I know it's not easy to do this, and you get a lot of shit from everybody, but I know it takes a lot of guts to come on here and hear all this, but that's really all I have left to say.
I do, Rod. I appreciate it, and I agree with Jen, what she just said. I've said it before, even on here, you guys did a beautiful job with your children. I just hope you continue that job with Gypsy, because it doesn't look like it's happening, but I really hope.
I work half the year I'm gone. You know? Yeah. We have internet. I talk to them every day and this and that, but I have to let Gypsy make some choices and learn from her mistakes. I didn't think it was a good idea if she married Ryan. She called and asked me. I said, Gypsy, it's gonna work if y'all are really in love with each other and you love them with all your heart. Y'all gonna have some problems, but y'all gonna make it. Christy and I made it over 30 years. We've been through some shit, but we loved each other enough to stay. I figured that was a mistake on her part, but here we are now. It wasn't the most terrible mistake she's ever going to make. Hopefully she learned from it. Hopefully she decides if she marries Ken that she's really in love with him and sticks with it. You know, the show, it's probably a mistake. We're probably never going to get out the spotlight. She's always going to be known for what she did. She's going to realize that one day. That doesn't mean I can't support some of her bad decisions and let her learn from them. That's the only way I know how to parent. I'm not a control freak. I'm not getting her over here and going to tell her everything she can and can't do, or get on her ass about making every bad choice. If she makes a bad choice, it's not the worst choice in the world. It's not super consequential. Let her learn. She's got to learn.
These are super consequential decisions she's making that are bad. You do see that, right? Like, there's a baby going to be affected with all this. Like, think about that.
Hey, it might be a beautiful baby.
I'm not saying it won't be.
We
Absolutely.
know it's going to be a beautiful baby.
I'm talking about, like, coming into the mess of daddy. I'm not going to sit here and break down your parenting. I'm just saying, like, guys, it's a mess. And people are getting pissed. And again, ultimately, it comes down to the fact that people are pissed that you all look like you're worried about just money. You're all making a dime off of Dee Dee's death and Nick's imprisonment. And then you're acting like you want to advocate and tell stories, but yet there's yet to be a story. There's been documentaries and there's been a season of this already, and nothing's ever been mentioned. So you got to understand, people are going to talk crap about you because they don't like you.
I get it. And there's going to be people that's going to support her, and we thank y'all for the support. If she does have support, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to have haters. I know it. Y'all do y'all
Just
thing.
be careful, because her history of mistakes get really bad. So you got to be careful. What's to say she's not going to make that mistake again?
I don't think she's going to be in a situation where she has to even consider harming anybody in any way. I'm
just saying, like, to what extent do we let the bad mistakes, you know what I mean, pile up? That was my point.
Yeah, I get it. You know, I don't know. I made some pretty bad mistakes, and I'm pull myself out the hole. I'm still digging myself out the hole, I guess. But I have good times. I have a family. I got kids that love me. My mom loves me. Everybody, respects me to some extent. So we're hoping we can break the mold with Gypsy and just what she's come up from, and just recreate her to somebody that can make good, beautiful, sound decisions on her own, and just trying to do the best we can with that.
God bless.
All right. Well, I hear that.
All right. Well, I'm going to play my guitar. Y'all
All
have
right.
a good night.
You go
Have a good evening,
one,
Rod. It was nice talking to you.
All too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hold on, Rod. Hold on. Don't talk. Let me get you out of here first. Hold on. Let me get him out of here. Hold on.